Welcome to The Needle Drop. I'm Bruce Janu, playing one song for you on original vinyl every week. And this week, we have one of my favorite bands sitting there on the turntable. The band is Everything But the Girl, made up of husband and wife, Tracey Thorn and Ben Watt. They got their start in the early 80s, producing very jazz-infused pop. I didn't know them at that time. I wasn't introduced to Everything But the Girl until 87-ish, when I was over at my friend Tina's apartment in college, and she played for me their 1985 release, Love, Not Money. That album blew me away because it was very much like the Smiths to me, but female-fronted, and I loved it. Then in 1988, their album Idlewild came out, and that was kind of an acoustic pop album. And I loved it. And in fact, Idlewild is perhaps in the top 3 of my favorite albums ever. Now, between Love, Not Money and Idlewild, this album came out, and I didn't know it necessarily at the time. I picked it up later. It is called Baby, the Stars Shine Bright. And I didn't know what to think when I heard it. It was so different from Idlewild or Love, Not Money. It was a throwback to something out of my experience. They had, at the time, wanted to make an anti-80s album. And the mid-80s was all about drum machines. It was all about synthesizers. And they wanted to do something that was the opposite of that. So they were inspired by the orchestral arrangements of Dusty Springfield of the 60s. And what we get here is Baby, the Stars Shine Bright. And it's a different EBTG album than anything else I think that they made. And it wasn't something that a lot of people at the time were exposed to. There were just a few singles released from the album. Come On Home was the lead single, and that's a great song. And then Don't Leave Me Behind. And then this one. This one is called Cross My Heart by Everything But the Girl. Here it is. Wait for the needle drop.
Anyway, I'm fine, now that you're no longer mine.
I don't think anyone listening to that album would think, hey, that screams 80s. It was more than just anti-synth. It was almost anti-contemporary at the time. And I felt like it was out of my experience. It doesn't feel nostalgic in the usual sense. They weren't trying to recreate a bygone era as a novelty. These songs on this album, including Cross My Heart, are unmistakably Tracey Thorn and Ben Watt songs. The concerns are modern, the lyrics are intelligent and unsentimental. They just simply chose a different musical language. This is quiet sophistication. The arrangements are lush but never crowded. The orchestration is elegant but never showy. And Tracey Thorn is a master at interpreting lyrics. She rarely raises her voice. And a great example of this is when she sings the line, "You'd be appalled if you knew what I was doing when you called." A lesser songwriter and singer might immediately explain what she's doing and turn it into some kind of narrative twist. But Ben and Tracey leave the mystery intact. Your imagination fills in the blanks. And that's because Tracey delivers it so calmly. The effect is magnified. She's not trying to shock you. She is simply stating a fact. And there is this restraint in that line that feels more intimate than if she belted it out. And that's what Everything But the Girl has always been about. They trusted the listener. That's why Baby, the Stars Shine Bright can feel so intimate despite the orchestral arrangements. It is an album that requires multiple listenings. And that is especially true for the final song on the album. The final song on the album is called Little Hitler. And, you look at the title and like, what is this song about? And it's really about fascism, but done in a way that it doesn't like hit you in the face. And that's what keeps bringing me back to this album. It's not the orchestration or the concepts. It's Tracey Thorn's voice. She could sing a line like, "You'd be appalled if you knew what I was doing when you called," almost in a whisper, with no dramatic emphasis at all, and somehow it feels more revealing than a singer pouring their heart out at full volume. The album's sophistication isn't in its arrangements, it's in its confidence that quiet emotions are worth listening to. And that's the kind of insight that comes from living with a record, not just reading about it. And I would encourage everyone to go and listen to Baby, the Stars Shine Bright. Oh, it's so good. And everything they did after is just simply amazing. Their 2023 album, where they got back together, is called Fuse. And it's very electronic based, but they also did an acoustic version where Tracey just, it's amazing. So listen to that as well. I'm Bruce Janu. The Needle Drop is produced by me for Bell Book and Camera Productions. Learn more at bellbookcamera.com. And I'll be back next week with another song on original vinyl. Thanks for listening. Until then, as always, stay out of the trees.